My name is Harry, I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is May 28, 2024. It is, what time is it? 1:30. I need to make a thumbnails for this. Let's push it for 6 o'clock. By then I should make the thumbnails. Alright. Today is May 28, 2025. It is 1:30. I was online just checking to see what to share with you. So let's go on Twitter. There's this dog just looking out onto the sea. The caption says, "What's the dog thinking about?" And this is what I just wrote a minute ago. Life. How life is like a box of chocolate. He just doesn't know what he's going to get. But anyway, this is the list that I have here. Let's just go straight to it. Now, well, I haven't been on Twitter as much. That's the thing. And it's hard for me to really see, like, to have a sense of what's going on. But I know Harry is in China, and I think I put some videos out about that already. So this is the first tweet. Prince Harry gave a keynote address at the Trip.comGroup's Envision 2025 summit and hosted the Travalyst Executive Summit on May 26 in Shanghai. Quote, "Challenges will undoubtedly rise, but if there's one thing I've learned in my life, is that meaningful change never comes easily." Very interesting. All right, let's listen. 1 minute and 29 seconds. Screenshot, okay?
The stark truth is that global wildlife populations have declined by 73% since 1970. And with our coalition representing many of the world's biggest travel and tech companies, we are uniquely positioned to drive the change that we so desperately need. 80% of tourism's value is tied to nature. And nature is worth more when our coral reefs and forests thrive, when our rivers are unpolluted and our wildlife is alive and well in their natural habitats. And although we've achieved significant milestones in our first 5 years, the journey ahead remains challenging. And no single company can tackle these issues alone. And given the headwinds we face as a global community, we must work together to drive meaningful progress. Now is the moment for the industry to reaffirm its commitment to being a force for good. Challenges will undoubtedly rise. But if there's one thing that I've learned in my life, it's that meaningful change never comes easily. The true measure...
He's talking from experience right there. Meaningful changes never comes easily.
...of our commitment is how we respond when the path becomes difficult. We must never give up.
Wow, very touching. Okay, here are some of the responses. Justine Sophie has quit as chair of Tabloids. Have you heard anything, Zendi? I haven't heard much about that. Let's see here. No, I haven't seen anything credible to that effect. I checked the charity's website and Tabloids website, and she's still there, albeit there are only 3 trustees left. Someone shared a screenshot, but it doesn't show context, date, article, publication. Okay, so there's all of that. Okay, still waiting to see any meaningful change from her. Okay, if you haven't seen it, that's just too bad. Okay, your dad made 35 trillion since the 80s for nature and climate. Ask him why hasn't he fixed this problem. That's not his problem. That's not Harry's problem right now, because Charles won't even pick up his phone call.
Your relationship with your father? Is he taking your calls now?
Yeah.
He is. There's a lot to work through there. You know, I feel really let down because he's been through something similar. He knows what pain feels like. My father and my brother, they are trapped.
Contrary to press reports, they say they never blindsided the Queen.
I've never blindsided my grandmother. I have too much respect for her.
Harry describes a strained relationship with the British press and members of the royal family, including his father, who he says at one point wouldn't pick up his calls. As for his relationship with Prince William,
The relationship is space.
Okay, no teleprompter. He was reading. He was reading from the teleprompter. It was somewhere on the bottom. No teleprompter to read from, no pieces of paper to check 10 times. He can give powerful speeches when his brother and sister-in-law can only raffle and coherently. He does so much good, and only because he left control of the royal family, history will remember him and Meghan well. Let's see, there's 2 comments. I'm gonna go back to the video because he was looking. He is reading from a teleprompter near the floor. Yeah, you can see him reading. Yeah, I saw that too. Let's look. Let's go back. Somewhere.
The headwinds we face as a global community, we must work together to drive meaningful progress. Now is the moment for the
Right
industry
there.
to
He was looking down. See? Looking down somewhere. There it is here again. He was looking down. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. And it's making reference to that as well. China. Okay, I don't usually reply to these. Oh, they deleted it. Okay, but this comment was just so stupid. You lot also used to paying the royal family for doing nothing that an adult man actually working seems weird to you. Okay, I don't have the screenshot. Did I put this on my community board? Because you're unable to view the post because this account owner. Okay, let me see if I have the screenshot of it. I don't know if I shared that on my community board. Never mind, I don't have the screenshot of it because I think it was making reference to Travalyst that like Harry was doing like some sort of a, I don't know, he diminished, minimized Harry's thing in China. The comment is outright stupid, as it obviously Harry is there as part of his not-for-profit Travalyst, and Harry personally has multiple sources of income like Better Up, book royalties, investment, money he got from various court cases he won, and many we don't even know about. Damn, that was a very a stupid comment that she retweeted, but I think I even went on it. Let me see if I could. Okay, let me try one more thing. Yeah, the person must have deleted the comment because people call him out. Because not only did I respond to the squaddy's comment, I went in it and respond to it again. So I'm seeing all of my comment, but the thing is no longer there. Alright, let me put the link again. It had to do like really downplay Harry's thing being in China regarding Travalyst. Let me just read some of these comments here. That comment is outright stupid, as it obvious Harry is there as part of his not-for-profit Travalyst, and Harry personally has multiple sources of income like Better Up, book royalties, investment, money he got from various court cases he won, and many we don't even know. And if he was there as a keynote speaker earning his living, so what? Isn't that what grown adults are supposed to do? Work to support themselves and their spouses, kids, and etc. Okay, yep, exactly. So people were really, his comment then go accordingly. I'm telling you, once the squad see a stupid comment, they bring it out and then have the squad go after them. And that's how I went and put the Travalyst video where the lady said Travalyst is worth $3 trillion. And there's me putting this here. Here, next time, insert that Travalyst video. It is worth $3 trillion. Clearly, they don't know much about Harry's work. Alright, I'll go into that. Okay, oh my god, so true and so well said. Well said. He clearly has no idea what he's talking about. Then he has the audacity to play victim when people have clapped back at him and his comment. They know how to spew hate, but can't take it when they're called out on their BS. Absolute. Okay, so that's a different language. So people were calling him out. So I even went and put the Travalyst video. Let's play it and then I'll go to the next tweet.
Travalyst will be in New York for Climate Week, celebrating our 5th anniversary. Since we launched in 2019, we have brought together 11 of the world's biggest and often competing travel and technology brands to work together on bringing sustainable tourism to the mainstream. Today, we are a $3 trillion coalition guided by our independent advisory group of world-renowned sustainability academics and experts. We're really looking forward to being in New York with our founder, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, to celebrate everything that we have achieved together so far and sharing our vision for what's to come next.
One video, once I find it, I need to really record it by itself so I could have it in my file, is that same lady, there was an interview that she did when she first met Prince Harry to I don't know, is it an interview or to collaborate to start the Travalyst thing? How surprised she was to see that how knowledgeable Harry was. That video, once I come across it, I'm gonna record it to have it on my file. So let's go to the next tweet. So I'm sorry, the person deleted the comment, but the squad went after them. They had to delete it. Next tweet. When you're a true global statesman, your work speaks for itself. The eye contact. I remember there's a firm I used to work for in Chinatown in Manhattan. That was like around early 2000s. How China is gonna change the kind of things that they were doing. They used to travel back and forth. I remember when I went to the interview at that particular firm, and first I started doing freelance for that firm. Okay, I was working full-time, but do freelance on the side. Once I come home, I'm working, doing my thing. And then he needed extra help, and he asked me to come. And I'm black, and then the entire firm is Asian completely. And I think he saw me felt a bit uncomfortable, and he was trying to make me feel relaxed. Don't worry about it, this kind of thing. And he was like, "Oh, don't worry. The firm is very diverse." In my eyes, I still find it funny. Once I got used to them, I told them that story, what I'm saying right now. So he told me after the interview, he wants to hire me full-time, and the money was much better than where I was working full-time before. I started with him as freelance, things I will do once I get home after working full-time. So after the interview, he was like, "Oh, don't worry, the office is very diverse, we this and that." And then I look at the office, everybody's Asian, okay? But later on, once I get used to be around them, they're very funny and relaxed. And that's when they're telling me some of them came from, obviously, China, from different part of Asian countries, right? And then I told them the story. They were cracking up. One thing I know for sure, they love karaoke. Friday nights, karaoke night. This is why some of you may not know, because occasionally I bring different topic within my podcast. A couple times I will drive. I don't live in New York anymore, but couple times I drive by. I still have friend and family who lives in New York. When I drive by that area, Chinatown, it's not the same anymore. Not the same. And this is why I will say it doesn't feel the same anymore, because I used to work around there. Literally. But anyway, that's a different story. So looking at this image remind me of that. Okay. And you can certainly don't need an entire nation media to talk about what a big boy statesman you are. There's that. The squad are making reference to the other brother. You beat me to it. Just posted this one and another one after going through the internet looking for anything to do with this event. There's that, yes. Yep, Prince Harry works. Unlike Willie Parker Bowles, Harry the Good King doesn't need the toxic British media to persuade us that he's a statesman. We see in Prince Harry a natural leader and statesman. It's effortless and all managed quietly and efficiently without the need for glassy Instagram reels, a valet and a personal camera crew and tow. Just wondering why he is there on award. From my understanding, based on little bits and pieces that I saw, videos and tweets that I saw, he was in China to represent Travalyst, which is something he founded, to emphasize the urgency in travel and to keep it sustainable, especially with the locals, to keep things somewhat with its natural beauty. Okay, I think that's what he was there to for conservation, to keep the earth, the way it is, and with its natural beauty, this kind of thing. But whatever I've shared with you, videos, clips, tweets, that's what I came across. All right, so I think that's what he was there for, to not only enhance, to globalize Travalyst, but to emphasize the conservation of, to meet climate change. I think that's the thing. All right, that's what I got from it so far. I could be wrong, but I think this is the target of his speech. Our charming Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, England, living his best life unapologetically. Yep, he doesn't have to tell his tabloid friends to tell the world that he is a global statement like the lazy one does. Amen, amen. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, I have two videos that I came across of Martyn. Harry talks and the world listens. The man with wall sausage fingers talks and people are like sleeping. Once again, Harry the statesman, people sit up and listen. Alright, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Screenshot. Let's listen to him.
Morning friends, happy Tuesday, how you doing? And this, to be honest, it's only yesterday, but it's already old news because in the digital world,
That's
when
true.
Harry pops up somewhere, this time in China, the public are so interested that the news flies around the internet in literally minutes.
That's
and the
true.
whole globe knows what he's up to. And he's working hard for Travalyst, the company that he's a part founder of, earning his money in the way that we expect him to do. And I've seen the videos of him on stage. He is a brilliant public speaker. He really is. He engaged his audience, and the people meeting him afterwards, they were having great chats with him as well. He's just...
Okay, you see the picture I just showed you prior to this tweet. He's right. They are talking to him, engaging and everything.
Different type of person to the non-working taxpayer-funded royal family because he has that level of genuine engagement. And on the days where Charles and Camilla are touring Canada, no one's really interested in what they're doing. Like, they're a Daily Mail headline, 35 minutes later they story number 20, then it gets filed in the royal section in the Daily Mail. This is still current. It's yesterday, but it's still current. It's still at the top of the headlines. People want to understand what he's doing. Very relevant, very approachable, meaningful to the audience. Charles and Camilla in Canada, no one's really interested. Kate and William, no one's really interested, literally. This should be the future of the monarchy. This person should be representing Britain, driving trade, investment, education and opportunities into the UK. What a thing we've lost because of the men in grey suits and the people, the senior people in that family, which is actually a business like Charles, that don't have a flaming clue how to live.
I really don't know. Charles, okay, we read that British royal family are a constant reminder how little they have modernized, that's the yoni, clinging on in the 21st century with archaic protocol and self-interest deeds. The thing is that it works for them, okay? That's the thing. It works for them. This is why they trying to maintain that same type of mentality, same type of things, even though the world around them is evolving, but they want to maintain that. So there is a problem somewhere. So who's controlling and allow this to happen? So, due to the things you watch every day, the things, it's like a soft attack, I would say, when you least expected, when you're relaxing. And this is how the Fox News, the GB News, this type of things, they're inserting these archaic, crazy mindset, the way that they want you to think, is like a soft attack by you watching those TVs, and it ingrained in you without knowing. Then when you are interacting outside of your home, subconsciously, those things that they're showing you on TV and whatnot, various platforms, it ingrained in you and you don't even know it. So this is how they're getting people. And this is why they want to buy every form of communication. Radio, TV, social medias, and with, they realized that first they went after Facebook because that was the most popular one. People were there. So they did their thing there. And then the next one was Twitter. They bought Twitter and all sort of things. Every form of communication, they want to control it. And this is how it's going. Okay, in my humble opinion, you guys could correct me or add or remove, whatever. Just put the timestamp. All right, difference out and hard-earned respect in a self-funded entity leading impactful programs is the new jewel in everyone's crown. What do you mean, pod founder? He is the founder. The travel app is brilliant. Well done, Harry. You know, I never went on it. Harry has turned out to be a national treasure. Anyone have a video of his speech to the Canadian Parliament? It deserves being... Well, that's not our job. Whoever follow him, this is their job to share it, not mine. All right, let's go to the next tweet. This is another video from Martyn. Screenshot, okay? All right, let's pause. When are the Workshy duo just going to tell the truth? My God, it's Charlie and Diana all over again. Really knows without the subservient mannequin, people don't want to know. She is sticking it out for the power and greed. Martyn girl, thank you as always. Okay, so what is that here? So this was on the 26th, 2 days ago. He's one of the royalists. Did you know she arrived on a taxpayers funded plane and he was there waiting to greet her? And the usual suspects are zip, okay, the tabloid, all of them. They didn't say anything about it. What does that tell you? So he was waiting for them. They don't live together. That's pretty much that. All right. If they were living together, they would have come together. All right. The video is 1 minute and 52 seconds. Let's listen.
Morning, friends, and happy Bank Holiday Monday. If you're lucky enough to live in the UK, enjoy your day off. Hope you've got some brilliant things planned. In my last video...
Well, it was a holiday in the US as well, Memorial Day. And that's when we decided to go for brunch for Mother's Day. I didn't do anything for Mother's Day. So we did that on Monday. The kids really wanted to go somewhere, so we went to whatever the restaurant they wanted to go. Anyway, let's start all over.
Morning, friends, and happy Bank Holiday Monday. If you're lucky enough to live in the UK, enjoy your day off. Hope you've got some brilliant things planned. In my last video, when I talked about Kate and William arriving in Scotland separately and why the royal family felt the need to, again, project mass deception on the British public, there were literally hundreds of comments from the royalists who lost their mind, saying, no one's got evidence of that, it's GB News going off at a tangent, blah, 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 blah. Well, here's the evidence if we need it. And again, yes, it's not the biggest story in the world. This isn't we found Lord Lucan, but the point is, where is this family's honesty, transparency, but more important, where is their dignity? They don't even have enough dignity to educate and be honest with their subjects who literally pay for their billionaire lifestyle. And if they've not got the dignity, transparency and honesty to admit when Kate and William travel separately, what else is hidden behind a cloak of secrecy? And that's what really worries me. We know about Andrew, we know about Camilla's shady past, we know about Charles and Camilla together, We know about Fergie selling her soul, begging for money, taking money from Epstein. This is the tip of the iceberg, the stuff we know. Why are they covering up the basic stuff like this? Because underneath the iceberg, there's stuff, I absolutely guarantee it, that would end this lazy, non-working royal family for good. Have a brilliant day. Comments are open as ever. Let me know what you think.
Let's see here. Oh, there's only one comment. Maybe that's why they don't want reconciliation or terrified of Harry asking question. All right, let's go to the next tweet. That was the only response under that video. Oops, what did I do? Copy. Next one. And by the way, for those who are new to this channel, I have another channel, PYTE, where I talk about Harry and Meghan in a positive way, kind of tweets stuff. Go there and check it out because many of you are not watching some of the videos, but whatever. Next tweet. Who is the royal expert and where did he get this information from? We know it didn't come from the Sussexes because there is no leaks in Montecito as they write lies about Harry, he's in China. Let's see how they spin it and what's wrong with being a stay-at-home dad. So this is the narrative that they're going with. When did they write this? Okay, it says just 2 days ago. Okay, Prince Harry is a stay-at-home dad without much to do. Okay, yeah, that was the soup du jour, the headline for the day. All right. Now that Harry has surfaced in Shanghai, China for an important international Travalyst summit, I wonder how the Mirror and the Express are going to eat these large dishes of course. They don't care. They put it out. They don't care. Stay-at-home dad that worked for a mental wellness company has invested in private companies involved with Archwell Foundation, patron of several charities. He needs to be home resting. That's for sure. Another royal expert exposed as a liar. It's the British media, so you should know it is full of lies. They lie about everything Harry and Meghan. Remember, this is the media that disparaged Nigeria and Colombia when Harry and Meghan went to visit. Toxic British media is racist. Don't believe the hype. Okay, it must be so frustrating for them that none of their false narrative are sticking. Yep. And the squad usually debunk them right away. Next tweet. Alright, so this has to do with The View. I have more stuff with British media. Let me move this. Let me pause. I switched that. Let's focus on some British media thing. The British tabloid framed Meghan's first official engagement in 2017, 2 weeks after she moved to the UK, as a big test she was sure to fail. She knocked it out of the park. Watch how proud Harry is to have found this incredible woman. Okay, 1 minute and 5 seconds.
This is the moment which will be played around the world. The first royal test for Meghan Markle.
As an actress, Meghan Markle is used to the red carpet. She's used to all these crowds. This, however, is something else.
They look perfect, and she was dressed just on point. Yeah, she looks amazing. Yeah.
Oh, there's the security guard.
She was lovely.
Everybody was just so excited and pleased and happy, and I think people looked at it and went, wow, what a breath of fresh air.
There, oops. There's the security guard. He's been with them. This guy, he probably, just my perspective, because this is the first time Meghan came out, 2017, and he's still with Harry. So which means I think the reason he stayed with Harry is because he sees that whatever the royal family is doing to Harry is unfair. That's what I think. He probably took a pay cut to stick with him. Okay, I'm just talking just by this alone. I didn't even know he was there from day one. And you see different places that he goes. I think this is someone Harry really trusts. I have so much respect for him. The security guard, his bodyguard. Because from 2017, so he's been with Harry from day one. He probably was there in Canada when Charles pulled the security away from him. and he stick with Harry. Because the thing that Harry's going through was unfair. That's what I think. May God protect him and his little family. Because I think he's very loyal to Harry. And in addition to what the royal family is doing to Harry and Meghan, probably saw it's unfair. Knowing that he spent so much time with them, and the way the tabloid is portraying them to be, he probably said, okay, I'm sticking with you, even though if I get some pay cut or whatever. I don't know. I'm just talking from the outside. Because if he was working for the institution, and at that time, you know, his paycheck was coming from wherever, the government, whoever pays him. And then now you see there's Harry on his own, and he's still with Harry. That's the only conclusion I have to come with. Because the thing that seeing the personality of Harry, character of Meghan, all of that, and for them, the institution, to treat them that way, I think this is why he stick with Harry. He's probably the head of security. Okay, he's almost everywhere where Harry is. Alright, but let me move it back slightly.
Pleased and happy, and I think people looked at it and went, wow, what a breath of fresh air.
There he is.
Good addition to the royal family. Yes. Like an American. Go mixed kids. Yeah, mixed kids in the royal family now.
What a day for Meghan Markle. There was no doubt who sparkled the most today.
I thought to myself, like, what a dream. I found a woman that not necessarily finds this easy, but is able to do it and make it look easy.
And then they saw that, nope, they have to change the narrative, make people hate them. It's unbelievable. There was a nasty program on our Channel 5 last night. Can Harry be forgiven? Guess whose fault it all was at the end? Meghan. Really? I mean, this is the thing. They're trying to put these things subconsciously into people's mind. Media cough, expert clear, come across, they want him back, more like need him back, vile. Okay, they're also pathetic. There's a slap in the face. We know they'll keep making these dumb programs because that's how they make money. Harry is never coming back. Once he made sure, okay, they kick him out, he made sure this is what they want. His mind is focused because now he's making so much deals, agreement, contract with different people. He has to honor these. Otherwise, they're gonna sue him. Okay? So if he goes back to the institution is gonna sabotage his work. And then those people who have agreement with him, contracts and understanding things, they spend money and things like that. And if he go back to the institution, where the institution is gonna prevent him from honor his agreement, the contract, those people are gonna want their money back. They're gonna sue him. Alright, and then they turn on her because some fragile people got their egos bruised. Okay, take your finger out of my face. Remember that? Nothing about Meghan was boring and uninteresting. She's graceful, and you can just tell she was a people person. I love how she never looked overwhelmed. Nothing about that moment was going to make her fail. Exactly. They've thrown everything at her, and she goes to it looking calm and unflappable. And that's where the jealousy began. They understood from that and other moment she could do it better than them. Flawless. 100%. I don't know. I don't think it started there, but they were putting roadblocks. Okay? This is the thing they do to almost everybody. Give you headache, unnecessary headache, so you don't focus on them taking money freely. They put roadblocks after roadblocks. There's an image that I have, a screenshot. I'll put it. Like two women is racing. The black woman, there's so many obstacles they put, and then the other one running freely. There's no obstacle. This is the thing. They were putting so much obstacle for her to fail, and she went through it really flawlessly. Chris Jackson, there's that. Haha, he looks very sore. Nottingham, I was there that day. Oh wow, lucky you. It was stunning from the way she handled the crowd to a girl dropped her glove and Meghan bent down, picked it up and gave it back to her. Love her from day one. Alright, she's a natural people person. His eyes are so blue. Alright, next tweet. There's more comment. Let's move on. Now there's more about British media. Okay, report 2 days apart. They don't know what Harry's doing. Shanghai. So not my king posted that. Alright, let's see here. First one. Prince Harry is the thing about the stay-at-home dad. So that was, they post that 24 May 2025. Prince Harry is stay-at-home dad without much to do according to new documentary. Alright, you could pause and read everything else. And the next one, Prince Harry makes surprise trip to China just as Charles started historic Canada visit. They don't know. There it is, May 26th. They don't know what's going on in Montecito. Alright, let's see here. Harry's speech was about sustainable travel, Travalyst, which Harry founded, that helps the environment. Of course, the royal family crown critters will rather support a family that uses helicopters like Ubers on a daily basis, locally at British taxpayers' expense. There's that here. For the Windsors, power and wealth and the form of continuation of the monarchy are the only thing that matter. Everything they do is geared to ensuring that subsequent generations enjoy the enormous privilege of monarchy. For them, taxpayer millions on top of the billions they already privately hold trumps personal happiness and well-being. They may even think that gold carriages, diamond, and the subservient of their subjects is what joy looks like. I don't even think they really enjoy that thing. Alright, the pressure to return to a toxic family environment is a manipulative tactic that undermines autonomy, disrespects new familial bond, perpetrates abuse, and disregard personal growth. This kind of pressure is not merely harmful, it is a direct attack on the well-being and happiness of the man who has worked tirelessly to escape and rebuild. Let's go back to the original one from the that UK media really knows absolutely nothing about Harry and Meghan. There's a laugh here. British media continue to pull stories out of their butt and end up looking like the trolling moron that they are. Why are the UK just concentrate on the left behinds and leave the Sussexes alone? I don't think they get the way the US and most especially California work. It calls the land of opportunity. It doesn't come to you, but if you're willing to work for it, you can have it all, so nobody's sitting on their ass at home. There's that, UK. Alright, let's go to the next one. Now we're gonna focus on the View. And then that might be the end of this video, but I have 3 tweets that probably gonna go on PYTE. Whoopi SCHOOLED Alyssa on the history of racism and colonialism and military and armed forces in America. Alright, so there's 2 videos of it. This is the first one, 1 minute and 34 seconds. Screenshot, okay?
I find that most people have just spaced him out. They're aware of him.
That's true.
But you know, to this day, the majority of veterans actually still support Republicans, and I get your point on the reporting about General Kelly and things that he reportedly said. But honestly, if we're going to have an honest conversation, the withdrawal from Afghanistan, most Americans think we should have withdrawn from Afghanistan. But watching it, Biden's numbers never came back because we saw 13 American service members be killed. We saw people we served alongside dangling from planes trying to escape, basically sentenced to certain death.
But again,
because if you're one of these people who served, you feel betrayed. You feel left behind by your country, like you were told this is a righteous endeavor.
Don't you think that all those troops, the troops of color, the women who serve, who have been erased from all of these things, don't you think they feel betrayed as well? Especially the families of people who were dead. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, if you go back, you know, I remember my dad trying to get into the VA, and what a pain in the ass it was then. The VA has never been well run, ever. But the one thing that we have always had is we never had anyone disrespect our service people.
Never heard those words.
Never heard those words
Joe Biden,
before.
after every time he was on television, said, God bless our troops. Always said that.
You're talking about how badly run the VA has been for decades. But right now, the VA is facing devastating cuts. Over 80,000.
They never wanted, if people have been paying attention in the US, the Republican, it's almost like the royal family who's paying attention to what's going on, and then they adjust themselves to appease to the people. You've seen different organizations were popping up about they were raising money for the veterans, this and that. But when things deep inside, when you look at things like the veteran is a hospital for the VA, for hospital for the veterans. If they really did care, the Republican, because I know a lot of Democrats were trying their best to help the VA. If the Republicans did really care about the soldiers, this would have been the place where they will make sure that works properly. But instead, they keep on defunding it and do all stuff. They actually create problems to diminish it. So it was like the enemy from within. But anyway, let's listen. Next tweet. Oh, no. The next video. And she made it plain here. The view. 1 minute and 27 seconds.
For the people who go out and do the jobs we don't do has been monumental. And most often, it comes from people who don't know better. But several people in his group do know better. You know, Pete Hegseth knows better. He knows what it's like to be a service person. Vice President Vance knows. He knows how hard it was, because I'm sure one of the reasons he went there is to elevate his life. He comes from very, very poor people. Yeah. And a lot of very, very poor people find the military as a place to go and change their lives. Yeah. And the fact that you don't stand up and say, you can't do this to these folks. I've worked with them. I know what they go through. Instead, we get this kind of...
Well, Whoopi, that's the difference between having John Mattis as Secretary of Defense and having a sycophant like Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. There's nobody around him to tell him no.
But they know. They know what it's like, and I fault them. I'm saying, right. You know how this works. You've lived this life. Why would you put down people who put their lives at risk? Why would you erase people? Why would you do that? You're a vet.
But that's the $64,000 question. Why are they all getting this MAGA lobotomy that's going on, as someone called it? I mean, somehow
this is the problem that's going on in the U.S. You know, they walk to the... It's almost like, I mean, what's his name? I will never forget when he was... let me pause it. What's his name? He was running for vice president with Mitt Romney, where he said about mostly black people that something about fish. They don't hand out fish. You go teach them how to fish. I forgot how the saying was. Oh my God, what's his name? Paul Ryan. I will never forget. I forgot his name. Paul Ryan. When he said that, and then he was, what is it? I have two different feelings for him about in terms of political aspect of things. When he said about not allowing people, God damn. Okay, I had to go on Chat GPT. What did Paul Ryan said about teaching people to fish? Okay, Paul Ryan has frequently invoked the adage, give a man fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Although this is good, but at the time where people were trying to save Social Security, trying to keep the social network things going on, and this is what he had said. And I will never forget that, what I thought when I heard him say. And I'm like, but those social network you trying to destroy, he had benefit from it. Like Social Security. I think his father died and he was able to go to school due to his father's kind of... okay, let me look that up as well. Okay, so I had to go to ask ChatGPT about that. This is what I wrote. How did Paul Ryan benefit from Social Security after his father died? These are things I'm aware of, but I want to make sure you know the exact thing that's going on instead of me talking right on top of my head. After Paul Ryan's father died, when Ryan was 16 years old, he received Social Security survivor benefits. Okay? This is someone who had benefited from Social Security survivor benefit, and yet when there are some people who were underwater, who needed that just lifeline to put their head above water so they could at least enhance themselves. So he was teaching them, talking about this thing here. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Although it is true, but when someone is at the bottom of bottom, sometimes they need that lifeline the same way he was able to get that lifeline of Social Security from his father. But he was, after he benefited from it, he was pulling, working toward removing Social Security for people. The entire Republican Party have been at it, removing it for other people. But yet he had benefit from it. But let's finish this part here. Okay, after Paul Ryan's father died, when Ryan was 16 years old, he received Social Security survivor benefits, which play a significant role in his life. These benefits are part of the Social Security program and are provided to the children of deceased workers to support their financial needs until they reach adulthood. Here's how Ryan benefit. Monthly payment. Ryan received monthly Social Security checks as a minor after his father's death. These payments are designed to help surviving children with living expenses and education. He benefit from it. 2. Saving for college. Unlike many, Ryan didn't immediately spend the money. He saved the benefits to help pay for his college education, which he has publicly acknowledged. 3. College education. The funds contribute to his ability to attend Miami University in Ohio, where he studied economics and political science degree that laid the foundation for his political career. All right, so he benefited from it. Got the money, save it, and then he was able to go to college. Yet, when he become, a statesman or whatever, he was working to remove it for the others. This is what I was trying to say here. And then when he was running as vice president with Mitt Romney, I think that was around the time, right? And he was talking about all of this. Meanwhile, there were people who were underwater, who needed that lifeline. Okay, so with Paul Ryan, going back to this, okay, I had to bring this because it made me think of him when I heard Whoopi said that. Ever since then, I have no respect for him. When he left, public politician, when he left politics, he was the Speaker of the House. This was like the highest, he's like the third in line to become president. If the president and vice president, something were to happen to them, he would have been the third one. So when Trump in 2016, won the election, he stepped down. This is where I would say, okay, there's something that he knew and he didn't want to be part of it. Okay? I don't know if I'm explaining. This is like a U.S. politics. When he stepped down, and I don't think he has run for office since then. So I was like, there is something that's not right. There is something he's aware of, but he doesn't want to be part of it because he was the Speaker of the House. Third in line. So there must have been something that they asked him to do and he didn't want to be part of it. Okay? But anyway, so with Paul Ryan and the Republican Party, they've been at it to remove Social Security even though they have benefit from it. So I had to go back to this with Paul Ryan because this is something that stayed in my mind since I've heard him saying that. And I'm like, there are people who are underwater. They need the Social Security right now to help them to get by for whatever situation they are in. But the Republican Party been at it, and now I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, so this is another thing that Whoopi Goldberg is saying. Some of the people that are with Trump, they know they were servicemen. They know their comrades were part of it. They doing this. I don't understand. It's like the devil take their mind away. I don't understand. So when Whoopi is talking about that, This is what brought me thinking about Paul Ryan. Let's see here. Let me read few and then that's it. Plus F Alyssa for speaking for people who probably don't feel the way she claimed at all and using them to manipulate the public conversation about what the military should consider a betrayal. This stuff is why I can't watch The View even though I love Whoopi and Joy. Alright, that part. Let's pause this. I'm also gonna need Sarah to show me one time where Trump ended a speech with God bless our troop. Thought she was gonna get over on Joy. Okay, so that's that. Alright, let me leave that alone. I just thought I shared that with you. It came under my timeline and that's that. Alright, so please take a moment to subscribe, like and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. If by now Americans don't see what's going on, even the MAGAs, I think the MAGAs are the one who's suffering the most right now, because there was an old video I did, I believe it's on PYTE, could have been PYTE, where I'm talking about the states, the poor states, the Republican states, how, you know, the Democratic state like New York, California is helping them and things like that. Now there it is. I don't know if anybody remember me talking about that. It was around the same time where I'm talking about different region around the world, the skin tone, the type of skin tone that should be coming out from these part of the world, those continents, and this is not what we're seeing. So all of that, everything is, they were playing in front of us. It's just that many of us, I guess, didn't see it or was not paying attention. And there's Trump who become president again, and everything is playing out. Even the things that he's doing, sending people back. And I was saying in some videos, the reason he's starting with the gangs and all of that, it's when he bring his people to those communities, there will be no resistance. And what is happening right now? You have those, I don't know, those people, they cover their face, grabbing people from the street and deport them. I don't freaking understand what the F is going on. They removed the gangs, the ones who would have stabbed them, they removed them first. Follow the rules, okay, use the democratic rules to get the people who would have give them the most problem, the resistance, they get them out, make the rest of us believe in them, make the public believe in them, the Trump administration, like they're doing something good. Meanwhile, it was step by step to get to the weak. You remove the strong, okay, and then little at a time you're getting to the weak. Now there's people who never been arrested, have a job, have a family. You could think of all the nicest thing you could think of a good citizen. Now when it's time for them to go to their interview to get their citizenship, ship them out of there. I don't understand. I don't understand. So while everybody was for that, remove the strong ones, the one that would have gave him the resistance when they come to their community, he got rid of them while he got the mass, the public, to be on his side to get rid of the strong ones. And now as he removing the strong one little at a time, and then the weak one will remain, and then you have no control of your own self. I don't know. This was playing out right in front of us. Right in front of us. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. May God bless the rest of the world. Not just America, the world. Because it's going everywhere. They just need America to be on board. They started from South America, little at a time. And now America was taking too long to get to it. And then they're running through it. Make the blind see. That's all. People need to see what's going on. There's some people who still don't get it. That's it. Thank you for watching.
Tanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.